What's up, YouTube? I am here live right now. And if you guys are joining in live and you can see me and hear me, then leave a quick comment here on YouTube. Let me know that you're here. Leave a comment with your name, where you're from. This is the first time that I've ever gone live on YouTube from my phone because I wasn't aware till just recently that on your phone, if you have the YouTube app, you can go live. So it's my first time doing this. It looks like YouTube is doing this to compete with the Facebook and the Instagram and the Periscope and making it a lot easier for people to actually go live, as opposed to on YouTube before you'd have to have all the software and a camera and everything like that to do it. So who do we got here? We got Menno from the Netherlands. We got Jose from Portugal. Welcome. And let me just kind of play around with the buttons here real quick because I've never done this before on a phone. So let's see here. So it looks like the comment feature is kind of like a Periscope. And what's that button do? Cool. Got these cool features here. I can change the background. I can change how I look. Not sure if you guys are seeing this. This is the documentary style video. Wow, this is pretty cool. Oh, that's pretty scary. Don't want to do that. I'll have to do a whole video just like that. Or I could do the sketch mode. Okay. All right, I'll just go normal today for you guys. And let's see what other features we got here. Okay. So we got someone from Russia, India. Comments are coming in fast here. Georgia, I believe. How's it going, Xander? Good to see you. We got Maury. Got a few people here from India. Welcome, everyone. I see you. We're here live. We got Chad in the house. How you doing, Chad? We got someone here from Lebanon. Ahmad from Lebanon. Got Mats from Germany. We got Yashu here. We got Jameen from Arizona. We got Tel Aviv. Erica from Charlotte. Welcome, everyone. Okay. Let me scroll back down. Awesome. Morocco. Oh, you guys are awesome. I love you guys. Okay, let's see. Let's turn this back. All right. So we got over 100 people joining in. Awesome, guys. If you're joining in, hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate you guys. It's good for you guys to join me here today. Hopefully, you guys are having an awesome weekend. I'm going to take some of your guys' questions. I'm actually doing some filming today for a few YouTube videos that I'm going to have available next week. But I'm also doing one on what's called my business plan, which kind of shares the vision, the purpose, how to create goals and everything, and a structure for your business, which is going to be a part of this new training that I'm developing this year called the Online Business Mastery Accelerator, which is like a monthly program. If you guys are on my email list, you guys will learn about that as time goes on, but I'm pretty excited for that. Okay, so let's take some of the questions that you guys have. Okay, I'll start with the easy one. What camera do you use? Please say to what camera is the best for starters, please? You know, if you're just starting out, just use whatever you've got. Okay, whatever you've got. That's, you don't have to go out there and buy expensive camera equipment to get started. When I got started, I just used what I had, which at the time was just this little digital camera that was more so meant just for taking pictures, the ones, and I put it on a stack of books. And that's how I'd record my YouTube videos. And I didn't have a microphone. I didn't have a fancy camera equipment. I didn't have a tripod or anything like that. All I had was just a little, a little camera. And that's what I started with. And as time went on, once I was able to put out good content and people enjoyed it, and I got some validation from that, then I realized, okay, this is working, therefore I should go maybe invest in a little bit better of a camera. And then also, as I made money as time went on, then I was able to buy more expensive camera equipment and a more expensive setup and actually turn it into a business. So use whatever you've got. Right now I'm filming this on my iPhone 7. Okay, but you could use a smartphone. A lot of people use that. There's actually even microphones that you could get added to your phone. You could get lighting set up and added to your phone too. I forget the case. There's the ring light and things that people that they use that. Otherwise, if you're looking for a DSLR camera, I like the Panasonic GH4. I'll show you guys that here. Panasonic GH4 is this one here. So this is a pretty good quality camera. I think it was about $2,000. The lenses are actually really expensive. And then I've got a tripod where I have different phones that I can hook up and everything too. And I've got a good YouTube video that I did, I think maybe 2 years ago or so, that's called My Camera Setup. And if you check out that one on YouTube, then you guys can see more about my setup. This here's a more expensive camera. This is the Sony Z150. And it's a camcorder which you can do more quality videos with and live streaming and whatnot. Okay, great question. All right, let's see what else we got here. Omar says, and I'm just going to take the questions as they pop up, the first ones I see. What is the best piece of freedom that money bought for you after you became successful? I think the biggest thing that money can buy for you is the freedom just to do what you want, when you want, whenever you want. And I feel very blessed to have done financially well, but the freedom that is provided, there's been cases, just to give you an example, last year, it was raining and it was cold here in Vancouver. And so I reached out to my girlfriend and I said, what are we doing here? Do you want to go to Hawaii next week? And she was like, sure. And we just literally booked our trip to Hawaii. We went to Waikiki and spent 10 days there. And it's because not just the financial means to be able to do that, but also not having a job, not having a 9-to-5, not having other obligations and commitments, and just having the freedom to be wherever I want. That's what money has been able to provide for me. I remember years ago, I remember even actually when I was a kid, there would be I was on a soccer team, and there was a trip for a soccer team to go and play in a different city where we'd have to go for the weekend and go and play for a tournament. And I wasn't able to go because my family didn't have the financial means to be able to pay for the hotel and pay for the transportation and allow me to do that. And I remember other times in my life where I wanted to travel. I'd have friends going to Mexico or doing this awesome thing, but I didn't have the financial means to do that, so I had to say no and miss out on that opportunity. So I think the freedom to be able to travel and really do whatever you choose or whatever you desire, having a virtual-based business is great for that too. But just to kind of add to that as well, money does not make you happy, but it can amplify your life in a lot of different ways. It can contribute to happiness and joy and a lot of these things, because now that I've always, before I had money, I was spiritual, I was happy, I was fit and doing a lot of great things that I was very proud of, but I was missing financially. I was in a scarcity mentality in my life. And what money allowed me to do is it allowed me to amplify all those different areas of my life. It allowed me to be healthier. Yes, you could be healthy just by eating salads and healthy food, but once I added money to the equation, I could all of a sudden invest in the best supplements. I could invest in the best technologies like water ionizers and PEMF mats, and getting massages once a week, and getting acupuncture sessions, and getting tested, and all these things, the juicing and everything that I've able to add to increase my health. It's allowed me to increase my fitness because I could hire personal trainers and coaches and mentors to accelerate that. It can allow you to be happier in some ways too, because you can get the best therapy or coaches or seminars or events or whatever it might be that can contribute to your overall happiness and well-being. It can enhance your relationship because it can allow you to spend time with your partner. For me, we didn't, growing up, my family, we had a lot of arguments and fights around finances. And so, it can alleviate that financial stress that a lot of families or relationships go through, but also allow you to spend time with your kids, or allow you to give to your partner in different ways, and go on vacations and things of that nature as well. So overall, money can amplify every other aspect of your life. And so that's why I believe it is important to pursue it. It is a part of society. There's nothing right or wrong with it. I think everyone is deserving and worthy of being abundant in their lives. And I think it's something that allows you to grow as a human being as well. All right, let's see what else we got here. Matt says, how do you get started without a reputation? Well, listen, Matt, nobody has a reputation when they start. Nobody knew who I was, but you just get started. Everyone that you know of that has a reputation, they just got started somewhere. So what you want to do, initially to develop a reputation online, which is, I assume, what you're asking, then you're going to need to create content that adds value. You're going to have to put other people ahead of yourself and focus on serving people in a meaningful way. And what happens is, through that process, you build a brand, you build a name for yourself that people recognize and they associate emotion to, and it can grow from there. And then also, if you want to accelerate that, then what you'd want to do is leverage other people's branding, reputation, relationship, audience, etc. So, for example, if you want to build a reputation, you could go and approach different podcasts or shows and get interviewed by other people. And by you being featured on their channel or their podcast, that can help you accelerate your reputation and your growth as well. Or you can maybe go to the media, to the news stations and the radio, and that can also be another great way, because now you're leveraging their endorsement in some way, their recommendation, to help accelerate your reputation. All right, little Rick, I see your all caps here and trying to get my attention. So, what are the life areas for goals? Project Life Mastery, please choose. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that question. What are the life areas for goals? Project Life Mastery. Well, listen, I shared that there's 7 core areas of life to focus on and you want to grow in. 1 being your physical body, your health, your fitness. 2 being your emotions, your mindset. 3 being your relationships, your intimate relationship. 4 being your career or business. 5 being your finances, your social life, which is family, fun, and friends. And then last is your spiritual life. So those are the core areas, and you want to have goals in each of those areas. You want to grow so that you can have balance and be fulfilled in your life, and not just focus on business or money, but also every aspect of your life. And so those are the areas that I focus on and what I primarily set goals in and try to grow with. Salima says, what legal counsel should you seek for your online business? Well, if you're just getting started with an online business, depending on the business that you're starting and depending on your personal situation, you probably aren't really going to need legal counsel. Legal counsel is more so when you want to protect yourself. You want to protect your business. You want to protect your assets. And you really only want to protect something when it has value. When you first start a business, it doesn't have any value. It doesn't have any brand value. It's just brand new. Nobody knows who it is or what it is. And so it has no value whatsoever. But as time goes on, you build that into an asset. It starts making you money. And it is something that is, you don't want to lose because it is so valuable to you in your life and in the marketplace. Then you want to protect it. And that's when you'd want to have a lawyer to help you with that. And so for me, and the reason why it's not as important when you first get started is because you don't even know whether or not your business is going to succeed. You don't want to have to invest unnecessary money into it or time into that element. You more so want to prove your concept, get the ball rolling with it, and get it to a position where you have a proof of concept, it's working, it's making you money. Then you can, once it's starting to take off, you could really protect it if you're concerned about that. But, for me, my business maybe a few years ago, I was making a lot of money, I was doing really well. And so what I did was I went to a lawyer and I had them look at every possible scenario that I'm at risk for in my business, everything that could go wrong. Maybe I might give advice and that advice could potentially get someone else in trouble. And they could come after me for that. Who knows, right? If you're in the business like what I'm in, giving advice or coaching or helping people, then sometimes, some things like that could happen. So We looked at it, going over and having a lawyer write out my privacy policy, my terms of use on my website, and trademarking my brand names like Project Life Mastery and my logo, and protecting all of that, and then setting up a holding company for my business that would own Project Life Mastery. So I have multiple businesses and multiple layers of protection and liability, and for tax purposes and everything too. And so more so at that point, when you've got something to lose, you want to find the lawyers and the accountants, the people that can really serve you in protecting that. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. Meren says, and apologies if I mispronounce her name, how do you approach failure? Well, I've done a lot of good videos talking about failure on my YouTube channel, but I look at failure as an asset. Failure is part of the process, but it's not a bad thing. It's just feedback. That's really what it is. Failure, you're going to always learn a lot more from failure than you ever will from success. And the best and the best, the masters, the legends, the most successful people throughout history have all failed just as much as anyone else. But the difference is that they don't view it as failure. They don't view it as failure. They just look at it as a stepping stone. And I think that you should celebrate your failures, because the failures have so much value in them of what you should do differently, or what you could pull from that, and helping you grow and become better. And in a way, if you're not failing and making mistakes, then you're not pushing the envelope. You're not challenging yourself. You're too much within your comfort zone. So I believe there's tremendous value in failure. It's just changing your perspective and your mindset around it. Jasper says, what do you do if you're 23 and broke and don't know what to do with your life? And someone said, get a job. Well, I think, Jasper, finding out what you really want to do with your life is a process. It's a process. And part of that process is you trying different things and being open and experimenting and trying different careers or jobs or opportunities before you finally discover what that is for you. And, I think you don't have to have too much pressure on yourself that you've got to find the thing, because the thing that you might love or do might change as time goes on. I know for me, when I was in high school, I wanted to be an architect. And then, after that, I decided that I wanted to be an event promoter and put on events. And then I did that for a little while. And then I wanted to, at one point, I wanted to do real estate and sales so I could improve my confidence and my social skills. And then I wanted to be a dating coach, and I was a dating coach for 5 years. So it's evolved for me as time has gone on. Since I was younger, and then that's okay. That's part of the process. But if you're broke, you don't have to be doing what you love. Get a job, get some of your finances together, save some money, invest money in different things, different experiences. I know for myself, when I was in high school, there's a lot of pressure to go to university and college. But for me, I didn't see the value in that, especially not knowing what I really wanted to do. And so I didn't want to get in all this debt and spend all this money going to school if it was something that I wasn't going to do. Because most people, unfortunately, that get their college education, they end up doing something totally different than what it is that they signed up for and went through the process for. I got a lot of friends that have gone to school for engineering or medical school or business or different things, and now they're doing something totally different because that just wasn't aligned with what they really wanted to do. So for me, I traveled. I took time off, I did self-development work, self-discovery work, and so and I worked different jobs and everything too, trying different things. So you shouldn't, when you're young, you have an excuse to be broke. Maybe when you're like in high school and 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, maybe 23, you have an excuse to be broke, but you should never be broke, in your mid 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. If you are, then you made a lot of poor decisions financially. So, I would start working, save money, learn how to invest some of your money, learn to invest some of it in yourself or travel or different experiences that can help you grow and become more valuable as well. Antonis says, where do you suggest that I invest my savings to get return from passive income? Okay, well, first, the best investment you'll ever make is in yourself. Okay, so you always got to invest a percentage of what you make into yourself, your knowledge, your skills, your education. In fact, I would probably invest some money in your savings and actually learning investing. Before you even invest in something, put some of that aside into maybe an investing course or investing books, or maybe an investing coach or resources or something like that. So you're going to get a lot more from the education and knowledge than you ever will from anything else. Two is you're on the right thinking. You got to develop passive income. You have to invest your money. For me, what I invest in, number one, is my business, because my business is something that I know, that I'm an expert in, that I'm involved in, and I have full control over that. And you'll always get the best return from your business than you ever will from any other investment. So first in myself, second in my business. Third is I make sure that I save money. Okay, I have money set aside for an emergency. It could be 3 months worth of your income, 6 months worth of your income or expenses that you have set aside for a rainy day or different opportunities that come up, because there will always be opportunities that come up you want to be able to take advantage of. Whether that's the stock market crashing, that's a great time if you're young to invest money and be able to benefit from a crash like that. Or maybe it's, I don't know, some sort of opportunity that arises. Maybe it's a course or a training or a travel experience or something like that, something that can benefit you in your future. After that, once you've got all that set up, then I would invest in an index fund. An index fund is basically you owning, part of the top, let's say the S&P 500. There's an index fund that you can own the top 500 companies in the United States. And it's kind of like a mutual fund, but it's not being managed like a mutual fund. And there's very low expenses, very minimal expense involved in that. And so now you've got a diversified asset that is going to go up or down based on not an individual company, but overall the entire economy in the United States. So index funds are great. That's what Warren Buffett would recommend. He says index funds. That's what Jack Bogle from Vanguard recommends as well. These are both billionaires. And you don't need to know much to be able to do that. There's different types of index funds. There's index funds for the United States economy, the S&P 500. There's index funds for Canada, the TSX, Toronto Stock Exchange. There is world emerging markets. There's startup ones. There's bond index funds. There's many different types of index funds. But I would start with that before and build up, consistently every month, invest into that for your wealth. And a lot of these index funds, they do pay a dividend, so they do give you a passive income from that. But once you have that set up, then I would consider investing in some other companies that can pay a higher dividend, and also are very secure long-term too, and will have good growth. Great questions, guys. A lot of great questions. I'm going to take a few more. And by the way, if you're joining in and you guys are enjoying it so far, hit the thumbs up button. I appreciate all of you for being here. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, Jordan says, what do you recommend for an inspiring entrepreneur who doesn't have that great product or service idea yet, but knows that entrepreneurship is the path for me, currently finishing my degree and 21? Well, Jordan, I would say, you're at a position where you're young and you can still do online marketing and build a business, even though if you don't really have a plan for it just yet. Because I think, especially when you're young, there's a lot of value in going through a learning curve and learning the internet, learning marketing, learning business, learning how to use social media or how to create content. And so, if you're young but you're not totally sure yet on the product or service that you want to sell or create, I would first probably decide on a niche. What is a niche or a market or an area that you're passionate about? What is something that's already a hobby for you that you can build a business around, or at least learn internet marketing through? If it's video games, then maybe it's that. Maybe you spend a lot of time playing video games and watching videos on that and learning it and studying it. Well, if that's the case, then maybe you could start up a gaming channel on YouTube or a blog or something like that and turn that into a potential income stream, and it's something that you're going to enjoy doing anyways. Or maybe it's cooking, maybe it's gardening, maybe it's sports, maybe it's basketball, or maybe it's writing, or maybe it's whatever that is. Find something that you have an interest or a passion for and just get started with it. And I know for myself, when I was young, when I was in high school, I didn't know about business or internet marketing, but I was really into anime, and I was really into Dragon Ball Z and some of these different animes that were out there. And just for fun, like, I had no idea, it wasn't any intent to make money from it in any way. I started a anime website, a Dragon Ball Z website, where I'd write different articles, and I had no idea what I was doing really, but I learned like HTML, I learned these different skills, and I did that. I spent so many hours and time doing it, and I was just doing it purely for fun. And I didn't make any money from it whatsoever. I didn't even care to make any money from it whatsoever. I just did it for fun. And what happened was that website eventually, just I think after like a year, I just stopped doing it. But guess what? I learned a lot in that process. A lot of those things that I learned have benefited me today. So just get started with something, and you're going to learn a lot from that. And then you can, once you discover the business opportunity you want to be in, you're going to have a big head start than other people, and you're going to be able to be more successful with it. Always Style says, are you doing any live speaking events this year, Judith? Well, I'm doing a mastermind, a high level mastermind in July, which is only available for some of my clients and people that are customers of my program. So if you have been a customer of mine, you probably got an email from me about that. I might do another seminar or event later in the year, but seminars and events, especially my own, take a lot of time to do. And I've got a pretty busy schedule. So it is a little bit challenging for me to do a lot of different events, but if you just go to projectlifemastery.com/events, projectlifemastery.com/events, you can be notified, put in your country. If I do have events going on, then I will email you based on your country. Any plan coming to India? No plans at the moment, but I'd love to go. Let's see here. Project Alpha says tips for growing a YouTube channel. I've got a lot of great videos that talk about YouTube. You got to be consistent in creating content. You got to make sure the content you're creating is based on what other people want. And if you put out great quality content and people enjoy it, that's kind of the impact that I try to have in the videos that I have is when somebody is brand new, receives some content that I put out, that they're like, wow, this is awesome. Thank you so much. Who is this person? I want to follow them. I want to subscribe to them. I want to check them out on Facebook or follow them on Instagram and subscribe to their email list or check out what kind of products or services this kind of person has. So if you focus on really good quality content, you're consistent with it, and it's optimized around things that people are looking for, then you're going to attract people, you're going to build an audience from that. So there's nothing that will not that can overcome low quality content. So you're going to make sure your content is high quality. Carl says, hey Stefan, I'm thinking of starting my Amazon business. I have no idea where to start. Any tips on where to start? Well, Amazon is something I would recommend a course for, a training program that can walk you through the steps, teach you how to do it, because an Amazon business is a lot of logistics involved in it. There's a lot of things, like a lot of questions that you'll have starting it, and you can get lost very easily and make a lot of costly mistakes because you can make a poor decision to pick a niche or market or a product that maybe is not much demand for on Amazon that can cost you a lot of money if you invest in getting the logo done, the packaging done, and the inventory and everything involved in that. So you want to make sure that you have a good training that can guide you, either a mentor or a coach or a step-by-step program. The one that I recommend now is by Steven Summers called Marketplace Superheroes. And we did a great webinar. If you just go to projectlifemastery.com/MPS, okay, projectlifemastery.com/MPS, watch the webinar that we did. It's a great program he's created. I've been through it. My girlfriend's been through it. I've recommended a lot of my clients to go through it. They've really enjoyed it, got a lot of benefit and value from it. And so he'd be the person that I recommend right now that can guide you through the steps and help you to do it. That's what I did. I went through his program. I went through other programs, and that's why I recommend for people today that ask me about that. Someone says, is Kindle still profitable? Of course. A lot of people making money from Kindle. I spoke at an event on the 30th in January, and just here in Vancouver, and this one person came up to me, said he's making $40,000 a month from Kindle publishing because of my course and what I taught him in that. I still have clients and a lot of people that I work with. We've got a Facebook group for people in my Key Money Mastery program, people that are doing well, making a lot of good money from it. So the answer is, of course, as long as Amazon is making a ton of money, then there's an opportunity for you to make money and have a piece of that as well. All right, I'm going to take a few more quick questions, guys. Let's see. Let's see here. Let me see. I got someone here who's 17 years old. If you're 17 too, then I'd also recommend you to check out my teen mentoring program, which is for teens that are 18 and younger. So if you check out projectlifemastery.com/teen mentoring, it's free. We've got a great group, and we do a monthly mentoring session as well. All right, let's see what else. Mito says, how do I stop procrastinating and study? And someone else asked about procrastination too. I've done a few videos on that. They'll go deeper into this if you do a search on YouTube, on my YouTube channel for that. But I think one is you have to associate pleasure to the process of studying and the result that you're after. Oftentimes you're procrastinating because you don't enjoy what you're studying or what you're doing. And you don't see the benefit, the pleasure, the gain that you're going to get from that. And so I like to go through a process where I ask myself, what is the pleasure that I'm going to get from studying? What's the benefit? What will this give me? Understand that maybe by studying, you're going to get better grades. You're going to learn. You're going to grow. You're going to learn how to consume information a lot better and implement it. You're going to learn. You're going to be able to, it's going to help you in your future to be able to get a job or to make money or be successful. And then also think about what is this going to do for me in my life? What's it going to cost me in my life? The consequences if I don't study. So that's thinking about, by not doing this, that means that I'm going to get a poor grade, or my parents are going to be disappointed in me, or I'm going to be disappointed in myself. I'm not going to feel good about myself. My confidence is going to go down. I'm not going to feel proud about myself. And thinking about the negatives in that way, because that can also inspire you in a lot of ways too. So think about the pleasure and the pain from that, associate to it, and then oftentimes that can really light a fire under your ass and get you going. But I would recommend the YouTube video. I think I have more than one YouTube video where I talk about procrastination. All right, Damon says, what gave you the kick to change your life? How did you start getting an entrepreneur, investor, and so on? Well, I had many different moments that changed my life. And, I think one of them being when I was young, I was very shy. I didn't have very many friends. I wanted a girlfriend, as most do at that age. I was attracted to girls. And I was just unhappy. I was depressed. And, I was someone that didn't really believe in myself, didn't have any confidence. I didn't believe that I could change. I just thought this is who I was and how I was. And, I see there's some people here on YouTube that are a little bit negative and silly and haters in some ways. And that was me. And by the way, I apologize for my finger. I'm just scrolling through. That was me. That was me when I was young. I've been there. I remember when I was young, I used to prank call people and think that was cool. I used to throw snowballs at people at the bus stop, and things like that. And I was just really lost in my life. I was very immature. I was depressed. I was unhappy. I was going through a really rough time. And I used a lot of video games and watching TV and spending a lot of time by myself to escape. to escape the pain that I was facing in my life. And it was like an outlet for me to be a different person, to think, not have to think about my life or the problems, or really confront things that I was going through at the time. And so what happened to me, I was just the compounding of all that pain, but what really pushed it over the edge was I was in love with this girl when I was like 16 years old. And I thought she was the one, and I was just really naive and everything at the time. And she broke my heart, and I was really sad about that. I was really depressed. It devastated me. I didn't have any confidence whatsoever, and it just crushed me. And I remember breaking down, having an emotional breakdown, and looking myself in the mirror. I was crying one day, and I just thought, this is not life. This is not who I am. There's something more for me in this life, that I need to make a change, really, is what I needed to do. And it was just not until everything I hit rock bottom. Sometimes you're going to have to break down to have the breakthrough, I say. And I decided to change in that moment. I had a realization that I needed to look for something that could change me in some way. I was just unhappy with who I was in my life. And around this same time, I didn't know what that change would look like, but I got rid of the video games. I got rid of the TV. I discovered people like Tony Robbins and Les Brown and Jim Rohn and Wayne Dyer and these different people out there that provided an option for a better life. And I learned, once I discovered that, it made me believe that I could change. I could create whatever I wanted. I just went on this splurge, this binge of self-development, and it hasn't, I've been on that path ever since 13 years ago now. And what I found is that it just awakened something within me, different potential and different possibilities, and that it got me excited about my future. It got me excited, wow, I could actually become someone that could get a girlfriend, and I could eventually become successful. I could eventually have friends and be confident, be social, and be all these things that I never knew that I could even be. And so it opened me up to this world, and I got excited about it. And then as I got more into self-development, I learned that business is an option, and then online business. And I discovered the 4-hour work week mentality, and that I didn't have to have a job, and then once I continued going, I learned that I got to invest my money. So as you go through self-development, you learn more and more things. You learn about things that you never knew before. I didn't know about investing. I didn't even know that was even something that I would do one day. But as I went on through the process and journey, then it opened me up to these different avenues, these different things that I wanted to grow and improve with my life. And so that's kind of how I got started with it. And I'm just someone that, I just strive to be the best that I can be, and grow and try to implement the things that I learn along the way. And for me, this YouTube channel, my social media and everything that I have, it's just a way for me to share that, just to share who I am, share the things that I've learned. Whether you agree with it or not, that's totally fine. It just so happens that I think a lot of people do enjoy it, and I thank you guys for being here and being a fan and a follower of mine. And I'm not perfect. I'm not a guru. I'm not an expert. I'm just someone that's just like you, that's been on this path of mastery, is what I call it, being the best that I can be, and just sharing that transparently, passionately, powerfully. And that's my mission. That's what it's about, in every aspect of life. So I think I'm going to end it there, guys. I've got some videos, some filming to do. I'm going to shoot a video right now for this online business mastery accelerator. So many questions. I wish I could answer all of them for you guys, but I want to thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you. I love you all. You guys mean so much. And we got some awesome YouTube videos though coming next week. I've got a really good one. I'll give you guys a preview. One is on my life plan, which, by the way, if you haven't watched the one back in 2012, 5 years ago, I did a new video on that. That's really good. That is going to share how to create a vision and a purpose and goals for your life, and how to create a plan. So that's coming next week. It's a pretty in-depth video. I think it's like a 40-minute long video. It'll also be up on the podcast. I also did another great one too. I'm
I'm not sure what the title is, what it's going to be about, but I've got a few other ones that are coming for you guys as well as some more motivational type stuff too. So all that's coming for you guys next week. Other than that, guys, I want to say that I appreciate you. I love you guys, and I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Thanks for joining live. It's first time doing it on my phone here, and it's pretty cool. So, all right, guys, take care. Peace.